if you are watching this, you are one of the millions of people who made a New Year's resolution this year that has to have something to do with health, wellness, fitness. And I mean, thank God, there needs to be more people like you in the world that care about their health and their wellness and their mental well-being. And I also understand that for a lot of people, being healthy and getting into just the day-to-day habits of what a quote-unquote healthy person would do is hard, or it's challenging, or it's out of your comfort zone, and it doesn't come easily for a lot of people. Dare I even say that it's something that some of you may hate? And honestly, I feel you. I go through phases in my life where sometimes I genuinely loathe health. Sometimes I never want to go to the gym and I never want to pick up another weight again in my life. Sometimes I wish that I could just be quote-unquote normal and live a normal life, and unfortunately that's just not fucking true. I didn't really fall in love with health and wellness and fitness and all of that in the beginning either. In fact, if you knew me in high school, that was not me. I ate Chick-fil-A every day. I drank Red Bulls. I loved Starbucks Frappuccinos. I went to the gym and I would like run and do all of those things, but I hated it. I still do, by the way. I hate running, and no one actually needs to do that. So if you're running and you hate it, just know that you actually don't have to do that. Just felt like I needed to say that. By the way, hi. If you're new to this channel, if you are just now clicking on this video and you've never seen me before, my name is Kara, and I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner and an NLP master practitioner, and I make videos about how to be a healthy human. I am a functional nutritionist, but really, like, I've learned by now that everyone's so different that it's impossible for me to tell you how to eat and how to work out on the internet. I just want to be an inspiration and share what I have learned professionally and experientially in life. So if that's something that you are interested in, please consider subscribing. I feel like 2022 is gonna be my year, and I'm putting a lot more effort into this channel. I feel like a lot of YouTubers, including myself, say this, but I mean it this time. Like I was saying, it can be really hard for a lot of people to actually love health and wellness. Health and wellness and fitness was not something that I just like woke up one day and decided, hey, you know, it would be really cool if I started to eat healthier. I fell in love with health, wellness, and fitness because I thought I was going to die. That sounds really dramatic, but if you're not familiar with my health story, I actually had to move home from college when I was 19 years old because I had severe stomach issues. It was one of the lowest points in my life, and I didn't know where to turn. And after going through a very confusing and broken medical system, I started researching alternative ways to heal my digestion and to become healthier, and naturally that just evolved into me diving headfirst into holistic wellness, nutrition, fitness, biohacking. And now I would say that I can't really live without health and wellness. Like, it's a part of my identity. It is something that I truly love. So listen, just before I get into my top tips for actually loving health, wellness, and fitness, know a couple things. This video is not gonna be telling you how to eat. It's not going to be telling you how to work out. These are the mindset shifts that are the most beneficial when going on your health and wellness journey. This is how to truly fall in love with the journey. This is the mindset you need to fall in love with the journey. I hate clapping. Why am I doing that? Number one, you need to find out what you really want. And I don't mean just what you really want out of your health and wellness. I mean what you want out of your life. And this question comes with a lot of like pressure, I feel like, or at least when I ask this question, I immediately tense up and kind of freak out. I'm like, oh my God, what do I want from life? What do I want from my health? And this is really important to distinguish because we are constantly consuming content about other people's lives. There's reality TV, there's vloggers, there's Instagram. People are constantly showcasing them living their lives. Subconsciously, we start to adopt what people are doing, and we start to think that that is how we should live our lives, that we should be waking up at 5 a.m., that we should be eating avocado toast and drinking King coffee like I do.
Except I want to make it very clear that I do not wake up at 5 a.m. and you will not catch me waking up at 5 a.m. So if you're about that life too, you can be like me.
And I found myself getting really caught in this trap a lot on my health and wellness journey, as I would follow a lot of influencers back when I was doing diets like paleo and AIP, or back when I was vegan. I just tended to follow a lot of influencers that also did the same thing. Depending on how they lived their life, that's also how I wanted to live my life. And I never really took the time to just sit down, get quiet, and be with myself and ask myself, well, what do you want? Depending on what it is that you actually want out of life, you have to become the type of person that's going to do that. And you need to keep into account the life that you want, because your health and wellness goals are gonna be different depending on what your life is. Also think about, is that lifestyle of the influencers that you want really the lifestyle that you want? Like, do you really wanna wake up at 6 a.m. every day, drink lemon water and eat avocado toast? Because you don't have to do that in order to be healthy. There are so many different ways to lead a healthy lifestyle, and the way to be the most successful at leading a healthy lifestyle is actually figuring out what you want, figuring out what you like, and doing that. And honestly, just not paying attention to all of the other people out there. Okay, so number 2, which is kind of piggybacking off of number 1, is to get out of your comfort zone. Because how can you know what you really want and if you don't try? A lot of us don't really know what we want because we haven't experienced a lot of it. We only know what we know currently in this life right now. You can't really know if you want to do Pilates. You can't really know if you want to start weightlifting unless you try it. When I first got into my health and wellness journey, like I said, I was eating Kraft macaroni and cheese, Chick-fil-A, like Olive Garden. I drank probably like 3 cans of Coke every single day. I was the pinnacle of the standard American diet. I didn't even want a vegetable near me. But once I actually started to eat healthier and I liked the way that I felt and I learned how to cook and make the food taste good, I realized that I liked it. And it's the same with all the weird biohacking stuff that I do now, like coffee enemas. I was so resistant to coffee enemas, but how was I gonna know if I wasn't gonna like it or not if I didn't try it?
You are gonna be seeing quite a bit of me, okay? There's so many things that I could say about this clip. A, be resistant to coffee enemas. They're weird. And B, nobody likes, like, coffee enemas, like, you don't actually like them. You like the after effect of how you feel. Like, you like that you feel clean and that they're good for you and that poop is out of your body. But nobody actually likes coffee enemas. Like, the process itself is not fun. And I just felt like that needed to be said straight.
Because outside of your comfort zone is where all of the magic actually happens. Your comfort zone is comfortable, but if you really look deep down, are you happy in your comfort zone? And you probably wouldn't have these big goals in health and wellness and wanting to make your life better if you were happy in your comfort zone. And I don't mean really like uproot your whole life, move to Bali and become a vegan. I mean just do little things that you have always had a little bit of an interest in or a curiosity in. Follow the curiosity in your life. And it's going to suck. It's going to hurt. It's going to be uncomfortable. But the more that you actually get used to being uncomfortable, the easier it becomes. You build up almost like an armor. And then you probably start craving more things to get out of your comfort zone again. I feel like that's where I'm at right now, where I'm always wanting to push myself. Okay, well, not always. I'm actually in a big introverted phase right now. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Try new things because you don't know if you're gonna like anything really until you try it. Number 3 is about food. Stop diet hopping and just be consistent. I was truly the queen of diet hopping until about 1.5 years ago, aka when I moved to Austin. Actually, I was still diet hopping. I went vegan for like 9 months. Vegan-ish, pescatarian. You don't need to be keto. You do not need to be AIP. You do not need to be paleo, vegan, whatever, to be healthy or to lose weight. I spent 6 years in this bubble of trying diet after diet after diet. I mean, my most popular video on here is about me trying carnivore. And I will say that all of these diets did serve me a purpose. There were points in my health and wellness journey where I was really ill and like I couldn't digest a lot. My digestion was terrible. A lot of these diets are healing diets. They can be used for specific things at specific times. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do them, but honestly, the most results just come with being consistent. If you try keto for a couple of months and then you decide that it is not working for you anymore, and then you decide that you're gonna be vegan, and then you do that for a couple months and you decide that you cannot do that anymore, and then you start tracking macros and you do that for a couple months and you're like, well, nothing is working, none of this is working, I'm just gonna go back to what I was doing before because being healthy doesn't work for me. It's not that none of the diets necessarily like didn't work for you, it's that you couldn't do what you could be consistent with. Stick to the principle of eating real whole foods, and then from there, just be consistent. That is how I've personally really fallen in love with nutrition again, is going back to a balanced diet. Wow, I'm just so grateful and happy that I eat carbs again. There are some things that I do restrict because of health reasons, like gluten and dairy. I don't tolerate them. I don't tolerate eggs. And so truly, I feel like I'm the most consistent with my diet that I've been in a really, really long time, simply because I'm doing what works.
Hi, also real quick, I didn't really go like into detail about this, but because I tried so many diets and I was really deeply involved in like the autoimmune community, the paleo community, I really like believed that these ancestral diets, and I still do believe this to some degree, I believe that they were like superior. And like I said, some of the principles I still agree with, but because I so like blindly believed in this, I developed so many fears around food and actually ended up developing binge eating disorder, and I would binge and purge. I should have triggered warninged this, but it did not. I'm so sorry. But I had just such a fucked relationship with food because I was constantly searching for answers in my diet, and I thought that food was going to fix everything. And as you'll see later on in the video, it doesn't. A part of that was because I was so sick and like looking for answers, but also the answers weren't in the food. I'm 26 years old now, and I now understand that like balance, yeah, it works. It really, really works.
Okay, number 4, piggybacking off of number 3. Know that not everything is about food. It's really easy in the beginning of our health and wellness journey to become obsessed with the food. And actually, I think that is a part of the process, so just go through the process. If you find yourself getting really obsessed with the food, or really obsessed with like even the fitness portion, know that it's important, but it's also not that deep. I've made the most progress in my health and wellness journey in the past 1.5 years because I actually started focusing on my mindset more than I did my nutrition, my supplementation, or my fitness. Your mindset is really, really important. Your brain is constantly communicating to your body, and your cells hear like every single word that is going on in your brain. I really think the majority of my issues were coming from a lot of unresolved trauma that had then manifested into physical problems. Health and wellness is more of a triad of movement, nutrition, and your mindset, or at least like clearing up traumas, figuring out where you're blocked in life, what are your limiting beliefs. But if you're holding things from your past, if you feel unhappy with your life, if you feel stuck, depressed, anxious, and you're in this chronic state of just unhappiness, that's gonna eventually catch up to your physical body. And for me, I was in a relationship for too long, and that was actually making my health worse, because it was like the more that I kept abandoning myself and abandoning the life that I really wanted, the more that my body like was deteriorating. But food is not everything. Do the best that you can and really pour more into your soul. Okay, number 5, we're almost near the end, and these are gonna be hopefully shorter. Number 5 is fall in love with the fuck ups, because you're gonna fuck up. It's inevitable. I used to be so hard on myself every time that I would fuck up, every time I would miss a day at the gym, every time I would eat something that I quote unquote shouldn't have. And most recently with the whole vaping thing, if you've been following along, lots of times that I've fucked up on not vaping. But dude, that's actually just a part of being human. You're gonna fuck up. And if you have this expectation and you put that expectation out there that you need to be perfect in order to get results, you're going to drive yourself mentally insane, and you probably won't get the results that you want, and it will all just end up backfiring on you. So I've taken on this approach of actually falling in love with the fuck up. But whenever I do something that doesn't match an expectation that I put towards myself, instead of feeling shame and guilt, I have more curiosity for it. Look at me doing my humanness and just fucking up and like going against all of my expectations. Why did I do that? That's a part of a characteristic of being a human, is failure. And that's also how you learn some of your best lessons in life. So get curious. Go me. I'm just being human. I'm just out here fucking up. This took a long time for me to switch this mindset, and it's something that I'm still consistently working on, because I find myself getting into the shame and blame and guilt trap. And now I'm like, so what? What lesson did I learn? What can I get out of this? Move on. And now our last tip of the video, which is keep going, because you don't know how shitty you felt until you feel how amazing you can feel. Have you ever been really hungover and like you know that you feel really shitty? Like you know it, you're in it, but then you wake up the next day and you feel so happy, so energetic, all of those symptoms went away, and you're genuinely just the happiest person to ever be alive. And then it's in that moment that you realize that you didn't really know how shitty you felt because you weren't experiencing how great you could feel. It took me 8 years to know just how good I could really feel in my body. So even if right now you're in a place where you think, well, I don't really feel bad, I don't really have a lot of health issues, or I don't really need this whole health and wellness thing because I feel fine, chances are you could feel better. And when you get to the place that you do feel better and you do have more energy and your skin is glowing and you're happier and you're just radiating because you're so fucking healthy, you're gonna look back on that time in your life and think, wow, I felt really shitty. Where I didn't even realize how sad and miserable and sick I was until I got to a place where I'm the healthiest that I've ever been. I knew I would get to that place, and that is what kept me going for 8 years. In the process, I've truly fallen in love with health and wellness. I love eating healthy. I love going to the gym. I love doing my saunas and ice baths, which ice baths were another thing that were deeply out of my comfort zone because fuck that. But now I love them because I just didn't know how amazing I could feel until I did all of these things. That is just what kept me going. And it just made me fall in love with the process. Like, I love feeling good. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope these mindset shifts were helpful for you. But let me know in the comments what you're currently working on. I actually want to know your health goal and what's something that you need help with in terms of your health goal, your health, your fitness, anything. Tell me, because I want to make videos on it, okay? And please subscribe to my channel if you want to be a healthy human. I will be making content every single week, and I can finally say that and mean it. I am out. I will see you in the next one.